What are the different subgenres in the horror genre? Hey everybody, welcome back to Social Media, and today I will be doing a video talking about the different subgenres within the horror genre. If you don't know what a subgenre is, a subgenre basically is a genre. You take a genre of film like action and horror, and basically beneath those is subgenres that is mixed with other things. So you've got your main genre and then you've got your other genres. So a subgenre would be like in action would probably be an action comedy because it's a comedy with action mixed in. So it'd be an action comedy. Then you've got your romance comedy and stuff like that. You've got mixed genre, but horror has so many different subgenres within it. So today I'm going to be talking about a few of those, and at the end of this video, hopefully you'll get a consensus of what a subgenre of horror actually is. Okay, first off, let's talk about the slasher. The slasher movies are what really today we're mainly, well not mainly, but like it's coming back. Slashers are returning. You've got Scream, you've got Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and stuff like that. A slasher is basically a horror movie where a villain, killer, has a sometimes motive or doesn't, and it is just a person. It is a person. Uh, in Freddy's case, it's a nightmare guy with supernatural abilities. Sometimes they have supernatural abilities, sometimes they don't. Within slashers, you also get whodunit movies, which is another subgenre. Basically, a subgenre of slasher where you've got to, through the movie, there's hints and all that to who the killer may be, and there's certain rules and stuff like that. So, Scream, you sat there and you're like, right, is that the person the killer? Is that the killer, or whatever? Which, as of this video is going up on Monday, Tuesday. I haven't decided yet because I don't really decide what days the videos go up on this channel, other than podcast. So I think for this video, it's probably gonna go up on Tuesday. So I'll probably upload this on Tuesday. This will be going up on Tuesday, so I will actually probably have when this video is out, I will be in the cinema watching Scream. I will actually be in the cinema watching Scream as soon as this video comes out. These videos come out at 6:30 in the UK, so uh, these come out at 6:30 UK time. So I'll be in the cinema at 6:30 UK time to watch Scream 5. I mean Scream 6. I went to see Scream 5 last year, so and I'm ready for it. So yeah, back to it. Next up, you have your monster horror. I was searching online about what monster horror was, and for some reason, werewolf and vampire weren't really a part of it. For some reason, those were their own subgenre. Which, yeah, I get vampires and werewolves, they're their own thing, but really, I'm going to talk about them together because those two are technically monsters. They're monster creatures, so werewolves and vampires and different types of monsters. Vampires is probably your most like gothic type of horror, where sometimes vampires are shown in a gothic setting or something like that. You never know, really. When it comes to werewolves, sometimes they're in gothic, sometimes they're in like medieval times. Sometimes it's during the Renaissance or any time period, mainly in the past. Sometimes you do get werewolf movies that are in the present day during the time that they are filmed. But other than that, you will get your odd one, which is like Wolfman, that is set in London in a very late era. So you've got those type of, you know, aspects of it. So monsters are basically your garden variety creature feature that you'll have your creatures and stuff like that that are fighting against your protagonist. That is different from sci-fi because obviously sci-fi, but yeah, like that really. Oh, sci-fi horror. So let's go to the next one. Next up, you have your comedy horror. So comedy horror is like Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead technically is a comedy horror, and then you've got other ones. Comedy horror is different because, like Scary Movie, like the Scary Movie movies, those basically are comedies that take a pre-existing uh, horror movie and they basically mix it in with other stuff and make it comedic, and that's basically what they do. Like one of them is Signs mixed in with it's Signs mixed in with your I remember now. Signs mixed in with the Ring. So it's Signs mixed in with the Ring and stuff like that. So that's what that is. But comedy horror like Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is a comedy horror because yeah, it has a horror elements, but the comedy is in the subject matter of itself. It's a different type of film because when you start the movie, the beginning and the end of the movie, there's no revelation. The characters don't actually change. They do the same thing with their lives and stuff like that. It's just a tiny bit different. It's not much different from what their lives were already about. So that's your comedy horror. Next up, you have your torture porn, as it is called. This subgenre of horror is basically Saw or your Hostel and stuff like that, where people are put into traps or situations where they are either having bodily harm brought to them or bodily harm to themselves, being forced to do it to themselves and stuff like that. So that's that. That's basically the gist of what this subgenre of horror is, and it is kind of different. But like Saw is probably the one that most people know. I don't think Hostel is that big of a franchise, to be honest with you. Next up, we have supernatural horror. Supernatural horror is what most films have been these days. I'd say a supernatural horror like the Conjuring movies. The Conjuring movies are supernatural horror. Um, so yeah, they're sort of around that. Insidious is supernatural. Paranormal Activity is supernatural horror. But anything to do with ghosts, poltergeists, and stuff like that is all supernatural horror. You could call werewolves and vampires also in this realm of horror, but those are supernatural creatures, just not ghostly. So really, werewolves and vampires fit kind of in both subgenres when you think about it. Lastly, but certainly not least, I'm going to talk about elevated horror. As you know, you have watched Scream 5. If you have, Tara in the movie, played by Jenna Ortega, is talking about that she likes elevated horror. Elevated horror is the Babadook, and some stuff like that, like films like the Babadook and things like that. They are elevated horror in the sense of that they have a message or stuff like that. It's basically a message through horror. It's not all about your kill and stuff like that. They actually have a message behind it and stuff like that. That's basically elevated horror in the sense that I take it. But there is different things. So that's your elevated horror, and that's most of them. That's a few just of subgenres of horror, but if you feel like it, go research as much as you want about subgenres of horror, because there is so many. So yeah, I hope everybody did enjoy today's video. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you did enjoy, and go to the comments down below. Comment your favorite horror movie. What's your favorite subgenre? As you know, mine is slashers. I love my slashers, and all that. So guys, hope you did enjoy. And remember, keep on slashing, keep watching horror, and we will see you horror friends later.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Have you checked the children?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?